Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Mackie here, Doom the Dark Ages, continuing with our 100% walkthrough. This is mission number 21, a pretty big, beefy mission with some pretty decently easy mission challenges that we'll just get as we play. We'll also be popping a whole bunch of achievements and trophies as we start fleshing out all of our upgrades and abilities here in the home stretch. Now, this is technically a bit of an open world mission, and as we go forward, there is a Sentinel Shrine here. I'm going to not recommend that you upgrade your Dread Mace, as there is the weapon challenge we're working on for the Impaler, which is acupuncture. We need to rebuild our melee charges using the Impaler headshot ability, and having a fully upgraded Dread Mace automatically recharges your ability if you hit a specific parry. So in order to basically be able to use our melee and not have it recharge automatically, we'll not be upgrading the Dread Mace. If you have a fully upgraded Dread Mace, it may be worth switching to a different melee weapon so that making progress towards acupuncture is more easily attainable. This is something you might want to just consider as we are in the home stretch in the last few weapons, and these weapon masteries, there's not too much time to get them all done. The first combat encounter here does end in a leader. That leader does give us a demonic essence upgrade, and then that should unlock an achievement or trophy for you if you've been following along. I'll rejoin you at the end of the battle. So the Revenant leader here did allow us to get the final health upgrade, increasing our health up to 200. The achievement or trophy unlocked on my other save file, so you won't see it show up on screen. And you'll also take out your first of 3 siege towers. Those are our 3 main objectives. For this mission, we will be going counterclockwise, so we're going to be rubbing up against the left-hand side wall. This is because of the keys and the order of secrets. It's way easier to do them if you go to the left. As you come to the left, you may notice some shielded enemies as well as a tank. There will be a couple of pieces of gold you can walk through as you approach the tank. And then just past the tank, there will be another one. And past that tank, stick to the left-hand side to find a couple more pieces of gold that will lead you into the next siege tower and combat arena area. For the upcoming combat arena, don't really have any recommendations other than to be working on whatever weapon mastery it is that you have. For me, it's acupuncture. I will be getting it done by the end of the mission, but it is one that I would probably say is slightly more difficult than some of the other ones and requires you to play in a very specific playstyle, which is to immediately melee and then immediately go for headshots. At the end of this arena, we'll also defeat a leader. This leader allows us to upgrade our maximum Reaver ammo, and this is one of the final ones we will be unlocking. There are a few more to go, and the siege tower will get destroyed. Now, if we face in the direction that we came from, you can find a path that goes up a hill, and then up that hill, you'll get a couple pieces of gold and a key. This is the yellow key, and I'll be able to now go into a bunch of areas that I previously wouldn't be able to access. So grab that yellow key, and as soon as you get it, you can actually drop down from the cliff and immediately find the yellow key card door, or one of them. There might be another one later. Drop down off the cliff, go inside of this secret area. In the secret area, you'll find 2 collectibles to grab. There is a toy, which I believe is the Cosmic Baron, as well as a Codex page. You'll want to grab both of those and then exit out of the cave. As you exit out of the cave, go to the left-hand side, back into the arena we just came from. Look towards the siege tower and basically just walk to the opposite side of the arena behind the siege tower. You may notice some pieces of gold and stuff. We're going to come back for a few things. Just because of how things are laid out, you can't actually grab some of the things you can immediately see. There's a climbable wall in the far corner. Climb up that wall and then grab the piece of 8 gold, and then grab the individual pieces, and the individual pieces will lead you into a secret cave where we have our Wraithstone that will be locked for now. We'll come back for it. But as you enter, more gold on your left-hand side and your first of 3 cultist circles. Make sure you destroy this cultist circle. You'll have to destroy 3 of them in order to get a mission challenge. Then you can also throw your shield at the wolf statue, and there are 3 more to get. There's a secret area here with a Wraithstone we'll come back for. Exit out on the opposite side, and here you'll end up in a combat sequence with an enforcer, a whole bunch of shielded enemies, I believe a mancubus, and an artillery cannon at the very far end. So let's work through that for now. Now that we don't have to worry about the enemies anymore, let's go ahead and find that artillery cannon at the end of the path. It's where the enforcer was, and here we'll be able to grab 2 important things. You'll want to shield charge the artillery cannon, take that out for your side objective, and it also reveals a stack of 8 gold. Look up and to the left to find your second wolf statue. Take out that wolf statue, as we'll need it for later. Then turn around from where the artillery was, looking to the right-hand side. Here you'll find a side path that leads to a secret, and in the secret, the only thing you'll find is a life sigil, which you may or may not need, but it's always good to have it just in case. And then as you exit, we are at 3 out of 12 secrets, 50 gold, and you will be attacked by a Hell Knight, I believe. So let's go ahead and grab that Hell Knight very quickly, trying to get a little bit of progress here towards acupuncture, but wasn't able to do it. As you exit out, hook around to your right-hand side, and you'll find a ramp that leads down and underneath a bridge. Go down this ramp, finding your 3rd out of 4 wolf statues to your left. After you take out this wolf statue, let's go ahead and turn around and go back to where we came from. Then what you'll want to do is head in the opposite direction from the artillery, and you'll notice that there is a bridge, the one we were just under. And on this bridge, you should notice a couple of things, but at the end of it, look to your left. There's your 4th wolf statue. Grab that. And then you can grab the few pieces of gold directly in front of us. But immediately after grabbing the pieces of gold, turn to the right-hand side, and here you'll find a cave entrance that leads us back to the wolf statues. Now that we have all of those wolf statues, we can go ahead inside and grab our Wraithstone, which we'll be able to apply in just a little bit to any weapon we desire. Let's go ahead and mop up a ton of collectibles in the area before we get into any more combat sequences. Come out of the Wraithstone cave using the same exit that we used to get in. Turn directly to your right-hand side. At the end of the path, you'll find a door that links back to the siege arena from earlier, and here you'll find a stack of 8 gold. From here, you'll find a cliff along your left side here. As you're running to the cliff, on the right side, you'll find a wall, and then you'll be able to mantle up that wall. At the top here, we have a yellow keycard now, which allows us to go through the yellow keycard door. We'll be able to grab a chest with 50 gold, so grab that. A couple more things up here, though, to grab before you leave. There's also an artillery cannon. We will ignore that for a brief second. Instead, we'll mantle up the wall one floor even higher. At the top of this plateau, you can find another 8 pieces of gold. Then you can actually destroy the artillery cannon, and you may be surprised as to what happens. It actually doesn't give us gold. It reveals an entrance to a cave underneath. Drop down into that cave, and as you do, follow the pieces of gold to the left. You'll find a secret area, as well as a recharge for your health and armor, and some BFC ammo. Additionally, in this cave, before you leave via the man cannon, there's another little secret side room. You can actually break through the wall to find a life sigil. That doesn't count as our secret, but an enemy will attack you regardless. The secret, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is a weapon skin, and it's just around the corner from the man cannon before you leave. So make sure you grab this secret right here. That is the weapon skin. With the weapon skin, go and hit the man cannon to leave the area for now. As soon as we take the man cannon, you can shield charge your way through the breakable wall, walk forward and to the right, and we are in an area we've already been in, but in this cave right here, walk forward. I'll show you on the map where we are. 5 out of 12 secrets, 128 gold. We're right near the large wall where we found some gold earlier, and here we'll end up underneath the map. A couple of pieces of gold, our second out of 3 cultist circles. And then just past that to the right-hand side, we can jump up this ledge, drop down into the next area. There's a few more pieces of gold to grab, and there will be an encounter here, and there's a gore nest we can destroy to start that encounter. At the end of the encounter will be revealed a piece of ruby that we'll now be able to collect.
Demons are taking heavy casualties.
With the ruby collected, we can go ahead and move towards some more little secret areas and collectibles. We're going to turn around, go the opposite direction from the ruby, and we'll be able to basically backtrack towards where the wolf statue was. We're going to have to do this because of how the map is intertwined. We will be repeating a couple of walkways here. But as you come underneath the bridge, stick to the right-hand side. I will open up the map here in just a second. And as you come around the corner, there will be a lot of enemies, and you will have to quickly take them out. So right here on the map, you'll see where we are. There's a sentinel shrine not far in front of us. We're approaching it from the opposite direction, though. Once you take out the enemies, a lever will spawn, which we can interact with to open up a secret area, though. So from where we entered, directly to the right-hand side, there's this small sewer platform, and a lever spawns only once the enemies are eliminated. And using this lever allows us to open up the sewer. This is one huge secret with a ton of different stuff in it, including collectible and a lot of gold, I believe. From the middle, we'll hop up onto the ledge and use our shield on the energy node to raise a gate. We'll then be able to head underneath that gate and shield charge through a breakable wall. This will lead us to a lever, which we can activate. And for now, all that does is move the gate in order to allow us to get the next energy node. So return to the center, return to the walkway above the center, and you should be able to use a new and different energy node now, which opens up another gate. If you go in there, the gate opens up. You'll be able to activate the valve. The valve will fill up the room with water, and then do not swim up. Instead, swim across, and across there's now a newly opened room. In that room, you can find a collectible toy, I believe. So go ahead and swim to it to grab it. This is the maker drone, which you don't actually pick up, but you can inspect in the main menu if you want. After grabbing the Maker Drone, swim to the top middle. You can now jump up on the platform, and you can jump to one of the 4 corners in order to find your 3rd and final cultist circle. So you should get the Extreme Prejudice mission challenge here, which also unlocks a skin. Around the corner, another lever. Pull that. It'll open up the chest in the middle of the area. Grab that chest, and now you are as free as you want to be to leave the area. Use the climbable wall. We will do a quick collectible check as we're exiting here around the corner. And here we have 189 gold, 6 out of 12 secrets. We are missing a couple of rubies and a demonic essence as well, which we grab much later. We're also making very good progress towards acupuncture. We're at like 98 out of 100 right now. Climb out of the sewer immediately, hugging the wall on your right. You'll enter into a cave. The cave splits. Go to the left. Once you come up the left, a couple of enemies here. So I think I'm going to try to get acupuncture done as quickly as possible. Once you're up here, there's a stack of 8 gold in the corner. And then I believe there's 11 individual pieces of gold, half of which are on the top and the other half are kind of on the bottom. And those will lead you to the Sentinel Shrine, which you can feel free to interact with. And I am going to, however, grab my Wraithstone and apply it to the Pulverizer. The Pulverizer takes quite a while in some instances to level up, so we'll leave our grenade launcher for last. And to do this weapon challenge, all you need to do is get 250 kills using the Pulverizer while it's empowered. So as you take out enemies with melee, you can empower the Pulverizer and then take out 250 enemies with the Pulverizer once it's empowered. From the Sentinel Shrine, you can locate the Siege Tower behind you, and to the left of that, there's this little alcove where there is an artillery cannon. As you enter, you can go berserk using the pickup, and here we will be using the ballistic crossbow just to take out everything as quickly as possible. There is no leader or demonic essence here we have to worry about, and once we take out everything in the middle of the area, grab the artillery cannon for the Cannon Experience Challenge. This is for finding all of the available artillery cannons in the area. And from the artillery cannon, if you look to the right to the cliff's edge, you'll see a blue key poking out. Let's go ahead and grab that blue key, as there are a couple of doors we'll need to open up. As you enter, go to the left of the room. You'll get a secret. And at the left of the room, you can dive into the water and then go kind of underneath yourself here. And you'll be able to go through a opening where you'll find another lever. Let's go ahead and activate that lever, which activates some energy nodes we can now interact with. So we'll ignore the little cutscene there with the clue. We'll go up onto the ledge. And if you want, there is a little secret side room here that has a recharge for your health and armor, which you can grab. And then you can use the shield throw on the energy node to open up the gate. Swim underneath the gate here and follow along the path. You'll be able to get up on shore, up and to the right. As you climb up, there will be individual pieces of gold here for you to grab. Follow the gold, and then you'll be able to drop down, watching out for the fireballs. As you drop down, turn around and look behind yourself. Breakable wall, break on through that, and then just follow the hallway around the corner through a couple more pieces of gold. And then as you grab those, you'll be able to find a lever. And then this lever, as the one before it, will fill up all of this room with water. So let's go ahead and swim in reverse from where we came. As you're swimming in reverse, you'll be able to go towards all of the fireballs and stick to the right-hand side. Recommend not taking damage from the fireballs if you don't have to. They hit pretty hard, although we do have quite a bit of health and armor now that we didn't have near the beginning of the game. Climb up onto the wooden ledge. As you do, 3 pieces of gold in front of you. Then you can climb up the wall and you'll find the blue key here. I will open up my auto map so that you can verify your collectible counters. So for me, there is a chest coming up, but for now, 7 out of 12 secrets, 240 gold, and we're missing a couple of rubies. You'll climb up the wall to leave the area with your newly found blue key card, and here you'll be able to activate the gold chest with 50 more gold. And then we're still trying to work on acupuncture and finish that off as quickly as possible. With your blue key card, you can now go across this area where the artillery cannon was before, find a blue key door, go through that door to find a secret. In this secret, you'll be able to find more pieces of gold, and there's even a ballistic crossbow ammo in the corner. You can grab that if you want. Grab all of these pieces of gold, and you'll end up near a cliff's edge with a ruby. and you'll grab the ruby. At this point in the game, we actually, I think, have more rubies than you can spend. Even if you get every upgrade, you end up with like 3 or 4 or 5 extra rubies by the end of the game. But we'll grab that ruby just to be, you know, thorough. Drop down, there will be a bunch of pieces of gold, and we're going to follow them backwards into the cave. As we enter the cave, drop down and look behind yourself. You'll find a breakable wall. You'll find 16 more pieces of gold in this secret area. You'll see 2 little platforms that try to squish you. You'll ride one of them up to the top, and on the left, you'll find 4 more pieces of gold. You'll follow the cave into the next area where I believe we have an optional encounter gore nest, and then this gore nest unlocks even more gold for us to pick up. And at this point, it's not a terrible idea if there's a couple of enemies that you don't want to fight. Pull out your crossbow and you can take them out really quick and easy. Otherwise, I will be finishing off acupuncture during this fight. Once I did finish off my Impaler weapon mastery, I did try to pull out the pulverizer a little bit. This one's a little bit harder to use if you're not facing a lot of little fodder enemies. But once you're done the optional nest, you'll find another chest worth 50 more gold. Then you'll want to walk towards these superheated metal spikes, and these link you back to the very beginning of the map. But we're actually not going to go this path. We're just grabbing these little pieces of gold before we turn around and head back into the cave we were just in. As you head back into the cave through those metal spikes, you'll take the first available door on your left to exit out. This will reveal a path with, I believe, 2 secrets. So as you exit out, keep your eye on the left. Here you'll find a breakable wall. If you go through there, you'll find a secret area with 8 more gold. And then you'll be able to keep following the path, keeping an eye out on the left, and you'll find a door that requires a blue key card. Go through that door, and once you enter into here, there is a ruby, I believe, that you can unlock by defeating the enemies within this room. This also counts as a secret area, which is a good thing we're here, just so we can really have 100% on everything during the save file. With that ruby done, let's go ahead and open up our mini-map here. We have all of the available gold. We are missing 1 secret, 1 demonic essence, and a Codex page as well. So now that we have all of that done, we should, if we want to be efficient, go to the Sentinel Shrine, and we're going to spend quite a bit of our currency. Assuming you've been keeping up with mission challenges and finding everything possible, you should have enough gold and rubies to basically fully upgrade everything, other than we are missing some Wraithstones. If you missed a couple of things earlier, it's not a huge deal. You do end up with some extra gold, some extra rubies, but ideally you have enough to purchase everything here and unlock yourself a whole bunch of achievements and trophies. Go into the melee tab and fully upgrade all of the melee slots. My achievement unlocks a little bit early just because I have multiple saves running in the game at the same time. Additionally, open up the shield ruins and buy all of them. Mine also unlocks a little bit early because I have multiple save files going on, but you can and should be able to afford all of them in order to unlock a whole bunch of achievements here for upgrading all of your melee, upgrading all of your shield ruins, and then an achievement kind of for both of those things. We only end up left over with 37 gold and 2 rubies, but you will have another chance to get more gold later on if you, for some reason, have fallen a little bit short. At this point, you want to work your way towards the final siege tower. The best way to get there is through the door where we got the blue key earlier. You can grab your ballistic ammo in the corner before you drop in. Feel free to use your crossbow if you want to make quick work of this encounter. For me personally, I will be working on my pulverizer, and the best way to empower it is to use your dread mace on a large enemy, and then it should glow yellow. And once it's glowing yellow, if you get kills with the pulverizer, that's how we're going to make progress towards that weapon mastery, although this one can take a little bit longer than some of the other weapons we've worked on in the past. This leader right here is also our final armor demonic essence upgrade, which unlocks yet another achievement or trophy. I said they would start popping fast and quick in this mission, and that should also take care of the final siege tower, which will kick you into a cutscene where your dragon can land. You can then hop up onto your dragon to end off the mission. There are still a couple more things to do, and I'll explain exactly what they are. But if you want, before you get on your dragon, the only things you'll be missing is one mission challenge, one secret, and one codex page. Hop up on the dragon. Let's open up our auto map and then go to mission challenges. We do need to grab the Master Hunter mission challenge for destroying a Hellfighter, which is about to spawn in front of us in about 15 seconds. Once on your dragon, go forward following your objective marker. You'll end up at a tentacle. Take out the tentacle, and just past that, the Hellfighter spawns. And I'm not sure if it's going to just fly around forever. This is the only Hellfighter available in the mission. So if you, for some reason, are unable to take it out, you may want to reload your last checkpoint and try again, or just replay the mission entirely on another play if you prefer. So as soon as we get through this tentacle opening, the Hellfighter spawns. Also, one thing I mentioned before, there's these golden spikes. You can actually fly right through them. They just damage you. I thought they actually block you earlier in the game, but they just make you take damage. So take the Hellfighter and then disable the large ship in front of you. With the ship disabled, feel free to now land on the landing pad, and this is where we'll grab our final secret and our final codex page. So immediately after landing, don't go through the door in front of you. Instead, turn around. Our dragon has magically disappeared very quickly, and you'll find a codex page on the end of the ship. This is your final secret area and your final collectible. Let's do a quick double check before we enter into the ship. We should have all of the mission challenges, all of the secrets, gold, rubies, Wraithstones, demonic essence, 5 out of 5 collectibles, and now we can finish off the mission, which there is a boss battle. Personally, I had a lot of luck with the chain shot, and there will be a few enemies on the way to the boss battle where you can quickly work on some pulverizer weapon masteries. Just grab a melee on the first set of enemies and then just keep walking through the hallway. Hopefully your pulverizer is now empowered, and as it's empowered, you can pretty much just walk through these cannon fodder. You should be able to easily mop up 20 to 30 of the enemies on your way to the final boss. And then once we start the final boss, I'm going to explain it pretty quick, but honestly, this boss battle is pretty standard, pretty easy to understand, and pretty easy to complete, in my opinion. I use the chain shot. I think it does like quite a bit of damage, and it's also the easiest to actually hit the boss with. The rocket launcher does more damage, but the boss moves around quite a bit, so it can be a little bit harder to aim. Occasionally, the boss will throw these mines at you. Just dodge them. It'll occasionally throw out some shields, which start rotating around the map. Use your shield charge in order to throw your shield and destroy those. And here I made a pretty big mistake. If the boss is ever in a scenario where you're able to execute them because they're dazed, you want to take that opportunity. It does a lot more damage. I tried to like min-max the boss battle and do some extra damage before landing in my melee. Bad idea. Generally, if they are dazed, go in with the melee, and then go in with your dread mace. Back-to-back melee, and then dread mace does like half of their health bar, and the chain shot itself is also doing some pretty good work on them. This will get you into phase 2. I'd love to say that phase 2 is like a completely different boss with great mechanics. It is essentially more or less the same. There are a couple of walls that you'll need to kind of avoid as they rotate, but the boss will be shielded in the center. I did try to use the ballistic crossbow on the boss in one of my previous plays, but even though they didn't have a shield, the ballistic crossbow just didn't do any damage at all. I don't know why. Just stay alive, make sure you're parrying the boss when possible. They'll eventually drop the walls and drop the shields, so you'll be able to damage them. And then we're going to repeat the same thing. Do as much damage as possible using the chain shot. Get them into a dazed mode for a quick melee, and then a back-to-back melee with your dread mace. And you should be able to make pretty quick work of the boss to finish off this mission. The mission will close out with a short cutscene, which I'll skip. You can watch that for yourself. And the chapter complete screen, an achievement or trophy unlocked at the end of this mission, and we should have everything done. Thanks for watching. Drop a like, share the video with a friend. I'll see you soon. Peace.